Hey, this is Matt. Once again, we're about to another review. Sorry that I had a weird pause there or whatever. Thank you guys for watching. This is a paid request from Manuel. Thank you so much for that. For those interested in requesting a review or a re-review or a commentary or writing list, topic, anything, even if it's something I've done before or something I've never done. Why am I talking weird now? Sorry. Doing this 11 p.m. at night, and maybe that's why. So sorry for my discombobulation. Maybe I'll make the commentary even funnier. Just sometimes I get a bit more crazy. And I'm not on drugs. I'm not on narcotics, although maybe I should start with the way the world is today and Hollywood today. But this is for Blade Runner 2049. I am paused at the beginning. 3, 2, 1. Pressing play. Now, this is a film I actually saw in theater. In the theaters, saw it once, but I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the experience. It is a bit of a long movie. That's really one of my few issues, but other than that, I really enjoyed it. I know there's a lot of people that don't like the film, teach their own. And I know only like 2 other people will think this way, including myself. I like this more than the first Blade Runner. I'll say it again. I don't mind the first Blade Runner. I just have issues with it. I don't care for the love story between Deckard and Rachel. I'm sorry. I don't care for the Sean Yun. Her character didn't do a whole lot for me. But Sean Yun as an actress... I mean, I didn't mind her in Ace Ventura: Pet Detective, but I'm just not a big Sean Young guy. I love the visuals. Deckard, because of the story they're telling, he's inefficient. Because I did it because of the story they're telling. But I just personal preference. I appreciate this Blade Runner to be. We got to see him as an efficient Blade Runner. We got to see why he's considered a Blade Runner. While I did, that's the point. One of the points. People say don't get it, but in the original Blade Runner, he wasn't really that good at his job. That was the point, that he shoots people in the back, and he's like, what he's doing, is it really so just compared to what the androids are doing? So who's really in the right, who's really in the wrong? And then that whole thing, is he a replicant? Is he not a replicant? I never care for that discussion. I really didn't. I prefer him as a human. Just as a replicant, I just don't understand why you would make a robot who has a same lifespan, but he's supposed to be hunting replicants. I said androids, but replicants. He's not stronger, he's not faster, he gets his ass kicked, he almost gets killed a bunch of times. Sean Yun had to save him. And then he didn't stop Rutger Hauer. Rutger Hauer stopped himself, really. And I'm like, wow, then what kind of Blade Runner is that? Okay, we make him a replicant, but he's weaker, and... Like, this replicant made sense. He knows he's a replicant. He's as strong. He's as fast. To me, that just makes more sense logically. And I like it's beautiful visuals. I thought it was hypnotizing. I like Ryan Gosling. I like the way Harrison Ford was handled because he's older. He cannot be the guy from the Air Force One days. It's not 1997. It's not 1987. This is 2017. He's like 60-some years old. He cannot be jumping, doing this. He can't. He just can't. That's why they're trying to do that for the new Indiana Jones. And to me, that's stupid. It's fucking stupid. Indiana Jones 4 was pushing it, and I liked Indiana Jones 4. And I already know I lost like 90% of people. What, you like Indiana Jones 4 and you like this more than the first? Done. Okay, fine, be done. Cool. Not here to change your mind. I'm here to give my honest opinion. I love the visual aesthetic of this. I like the story more. I like the story of this guy thinking maybe he's the star. He's the what the story's about, but it's about this girl. And I'm sorry, I don't think it's any SJW stuff either. Some people have said that. I don't believe that because this guy's still the main focus, still the main star. It gives respect to Deckard. People go, really? Yeah, what do you think's going to happen to Indiana Jones in the next one? He's either going to die or it's going to be something to do with the time travel plot. They killed off James Bond. They killed off, back to the day, Captain Kirk. Kill off Han Solo. Like, the way Han Solo died in Force Awakens, that's not how I care to see it. That's not how I prefer that character out. This, I think, is much more respectful. Technically, it becomes a good chunk of the story is about the character, and it's a happy ending. Deckard gets back with his daughter, and they have a nice moment. It ends. Boom. Okay, how did the original Blade Runner end? It ended on a, if you watch the director's cut, is their preferred cut, him and Sean Young are on the run. Because the happy ending that was in the theatrical cut that was forced in there by the studio and wasn't liked. It's them on the run, so there's a completion to that story. What happened? They were on the run. A child was born. Seemed like Deckard didn't know a whole lot about it, and he gets back with his daughter. There's a nice little sweet connection, and to me that's handling the Deckard character well. Because you're not making you think that Harrison Ford is 30 years old again and he could do all this crazy stuff. And I'm like, wait a minute, he's like 7 years old. So it's not try to be that ridiculous. Not killing them off. I do wish he would have done like one or two things at the end. Like maybe he helps Ryan Gosling now and he shoots a little bit. I will like a little bit more to it. Like, there's little nitpicks here and there, but yeah, I did thoroughly enjoy this. Bautista here, I like Bautista. He's a replicant who wanted to be a farmer. That's going to lead to this fight between the two. You have a scene establishing that he's a competent Blade Runner. That's why he's a Blade Runner in the first place. That was one of the weird things about the original Blade Runner. You never really showed that this was a competent guy, so it made you go, why did they hire this guy in the first place? Like, why did they even hire Harrison Ford in the first place? I mean, you think about it, I get that you make mistakes and you make the guy more human. I understand that, but there's doing that and there's almost complete ineptitude, which is the original. That's what I mean. I don't mind the original Blade Runner. I like it, but it's not my favorite Ridley Scott film. That's Alien. And I like this. It shows the strength and power of these replicants. Nothing too fancy. Bautista, for those who don't know, he was a wrestler in WWF or WWE, and then after a few years, he went to Hollywood and did films like he was in that Riddick movie with Vin Diesel. He was one of the mercenaries. He was in Spectre, the James Bond film, as a villain, a henchman. He was in this film. He was in Guardians of the Galaxy films. He was in the recent Army of the Dead. I don't know about him as a person, but I don't mind him as a talent. He did this direct-to-video film I didn't mind called Final Score. I like the story also with Ryan Gosling when it comes to believe that, how do I put it? This is a guy who is a replicant. He knows he's a replicant. Had a possible dream that maybe he's special, maybe he's part human, or maybe there's something more to him, this miracle. Part human, part replicant, however it may be. And then on top of that, or if people think if Deckard a replicant, two replicants made a baby, and when he realizes he's not the special core of the story, he still does the human decision. And that's to do something unselfish for the betterment of another. And it's not doing it for selfish reasons or for glory or, oh, look how special I am. It's, oh, I have to, not have to, but I'm going to decide to do this because in a human morality sense, it's the right thing to do. To bring these two, father and child, back together again. He's the guy who, in a human way, gives up his life to make that happen. And again, that's a human, not a logical thing. That's a human morality thing to do. And that kind of completes his journey. And so you still have a complete of that journey, and he dies, but he dies a noble human death. He was born a replicant, but he dies, a human morality death. While Harrison Ford, the character in the first film, he has a happy ending, God forbid. It says his film bombed, which maybe that was for the better, sadly. That way these franchises don't fucking keep going on forever. Maybe it's for the better this bombed. Sadly, maybe it's for the better. So you didn't have 2, 3 sequels that fuck up the story and just milk it till it's completely dry. That's why sometimes I go, you know what, it's better that this film flops so we don't have a shitty sequel that ruins the storyline or the legacy or anything of the sort. You know? It's hard to look forward to sequels. Impossible? No. I mean, I look forward to next year, Sonic the Hedgehog 2 and Jackass 4. John Wick 4. But then there's the part of me, oh, I hope they don't fuck it up. And see, these effects in this movie to me is marvelous to look at. Not the stuff in the Marvel films. Sometimes, to be fair. But this stuff is like, ooh, wow, cool. And this was a great to see on the big screen. It was a great experience on the big screen. To see this in the biggest screen possible and just sit back and, in a weird way, took me back to seeing a film in the 80s, weirdly enough. Why I'm just so wowed by the spectacle, and it's a slow burn movie, but I'm getting into the story, and yes, I do think there's about maybe 15 minutes you could edit. I still enjoy the journey. I'm either wowed by the visual spectacle and the model work and the lighting, the atmosphere. And it didn't feel like just a complete remake of the first. It wasn't The Force Awakens. It wasn't Ghostbusters Afterlife. And I like Ryan Gosling. I liked him in the film Drive from 2011. I love the lighting. I just, as a replicant, he's looked down upon, and you have a character that's quote not human, but it gives reasons to sympathize with him. And it reminds me of other stuff, which is not a problem because there's plenty of films I love that will remind me of older material. For example, this whole thing with the speaking, it kind of reminds me a bit of an underrated film called Equilibrium. Not exactly, but Equilibrium was a film with Christian Bale, which to me is Christian Bale's best film, in my opinion. Not Batman? No, to me, Equilibrium, American Psycho would be second, but Equilibrium to me is Christian Bale's best film and most underrated. And that was in the future where you had to take these things to maintain this level of coldness and zero emotion. And I forget if he had to do things that, but there are certain things you had to keep track to showcase whether your emotions are showing or not. Ad Astra did the same thing. That's another film I enjoyed that a lot of people don't like. Ad Astra with Brad Pitt. But yeah, Ad Astra. I mean, to me that's more reminiscent of a film back in the day, but with a nice coat of paint. And to me, this is one of the few sequels, revivals, that didn't tarnish the original and didn't shit on it. They didn't make it a Michael Bay action film. They didn't make it, oh, let's do a bunch of fucking fart shit jokes. I didn't just do the lazy, just a remake of the first movie. They try to add a bit more to the original, but at the same time be its own thing. But I actually don't mind this sort of interesting love story between Joy, who's this little box, and then by circumstances able to create like an artificial body, and then feel sad when, and I forget the actress's name, but she was in another movie, and I'm like, what the fuck? Who the hell is this lady? Like, she did an awful job, and someone went, that's the girl in Blade Runner 2040. I'm like, oh, shit, that's the... So it goes to show you that it could be the direction and writing, not just the actor. It is interesting that a replicant needs to eat food, though. I mean, if Ted is a robot, but I mean, I just makes me wonder how does that work with an android body compared to something else. And 2017 wasn't that bad. I mean, compared to other years, I mean, from what I remember that year, I enjoyed The Hitman's Bodyguard, the first one. I enjoyed, I think it was John Wick Chapter 2 that came out. Who's the other one? Was it Kidnap? I can't remember. But yeah, I remember 2017 being pretty decent. The low projection. Kind of like two different versions of artificial intelligence. Yeah, sorry, I don't mean to be silent, but wow, a movie where people actually smoked cigarettes. Billy, what are you talking about? I'm just saying, nowadays in movies, granted, yes, cigarettes are not good for you, obviously. But I did as a visual, like, tool, even if it's not cigarettes, it could be, like, whatever else. I don't care if it's vape. Like, something that just gives a little bit of visual touch to the character. You don't really see much of that. Now, this pretty much gives... This is what I'm thinking of. She doesn't need this device to walk around. She's a bit more free. Free roaming. I know people are going to get mad with me saying I like this more than the first one. I mean, the first one... Here's my history with the first film. When I first saw the Blade Runner, I saw the theatrical VHS tape with the boring as hell narration by Harrison Ford. And I'm watching the film and I'm going, oh, this is kind of boring and it's a good looking movie. I'm not really sure about Harrison Ford's character because I just didn't find him the most interesting compared to other Harrison Ford characters like Witness or... Actually, that one I saw later, to be fair. Indiana Jones. Or, you know, at that time, like, The Fugitive. That's more that I saw. The Fugitive, and even Regarding Henry, which I like. Air Force One. But when I... No, I probably saw that... I think as a kid, it was more The Fugitive and Indiana Jones. And Star Wars. So then I saw Blade Runner, and then, you know, later on I got the director's cut DVD, and I appreciated more. I love Rutger Hauer in the film. That's the thing, I think Rutger Hauer outshines Harrison Ford in that. And Harrison Ford's not bad. I liked Harrison Ford. I I liked the Deckard character because I liked Harrison Ford, if that makes sense. It's not really the character itself, it's because I liked Harrison Ford, and that leads me to liking the character because it's Harrison Ford. But I never cared for the... Like, this romance I get more out of than the romance between Sean Young and Harrison Ford. I'm sorry. Because, again, this whole thing with the different types of AI and, like, this tragedy because they can't really be together truly, but try to be a close approximation. And that's when you have that scene with the hooker. So he has the hooker, but then it's her. And that's kind of a rude awakening of once again showcasing, you can't have a real relationship because she could freeze like this for a voice message like you would on your phone. So yeah, it's part of that tragedy of can't really have what you want. I apologize for the clear in the throat. I apologize. Don't want to hear 3 hours. Now again, if like I said, I like Ryan Gosling. I like this the story within him, and I get the two little issues I have with, how do I put it, the running time, and I had Decker to do a little bit more at the end, or a little something at the end at least. But what was I going to say? Like this, I think some stuff you could cut out. The whole fact of Jared Leto's character, I don't mind, but at the same time, that felt like it was leading to something that we were never going to see. Because his story is brought up, and then it feels like it's going to lead to something bigger, and it never truly does. Whether this rebellion or replicants, or this going to possible fight in the future against him with the replicant, it just, I don't know. Either I would rather Ryan Gosling go up and shoot him in the head, and then it's that crazy bitch going after Ryan Gosling and Harrison Ford, or like just something to the effect, don't worry about, oh, maybe we'll do this for the next one. Don't worry about it. So pretty much you get the idea here that this is Sean Yun's bones, and she had a kid. I guess that's the thing with replicant. I keep thinking like there's all these wires and shit, and it's not really the case. It's not like a bunch of wires and cyborg. I keep associating that with replicants. And then this definitely intrigues him to an extent, as they call a skin job, could have actually given birth to something. And that right there kind of shows a little something. Like, I mean, again, a replicant being pregnant. I mean, I think that was a decent evolution of the story for Blade Runner. Maybe because I didn't grow with Blade Runner like other people. Again, Blade Runner, like I said, I saw on VHS and I didn't like it, mainly because of the boring narration, which even Harrison Ford was bored. And then it wasn't until the DVD era I saw it. I saw it maybe like 3 times on DVD, and it's like, oh, I liked it. I have issues with it, but I liked it. And then, there you go. I'm not going to sit here and say Blade Runner is a piece of shit. No, it's not nearly a piece of shit. I'm sorry, it's not a 5 out of 5 star movie for me. It's just not. The visuals are 5 out of 5, and Vangelis, it's a great score. That's something I wanted to say. I think it would be cool if someone took the movie, maybe edit a little bit of Jared Leto's scenes out, and just have enough to get the gist of it, and restore the film with Vangelis. Because the score in this is not bad. I don't think it's a bad score. But again, it would be cool to watch this film with the Vangelis score all the way through. The Vangelis cut. I think that would be really cool. And I think there's someone that did like a little scene. I think that'd be really cool to see the entire movie with Vangelis Blade Runner 1 score in the background. I think that'd be a really cool experiment. I wouldn't know how to do it, but yeah, I'm just saying that'd be pretty cool. But what about the advertisements? Well, I mean, they did that in the first Blade Runner. Like, you'll see Atari and other stuff. I mean, if you don't blame this film, there's the Atari symbol. Speak to the devil. Let's see that Atari survived in this universe. Yeah, I do think the music and especially the visuals, they do work well for this film. Again, I just think it'd be really interesting to see this with Evangelist or from Blade Runner 1, just curiosity's sake. But when I said that this kind of reminded me of an older film, like if which I never got a chance to see him in the theater, I don't like watching the original. I said 80s, but I maybe not even 80s, maybe like more 70s, like 2001: Space Odyssey, which I enjoy quite a bit, and the original Rollerball with James Caan, which I enjoy a little bit. I don't know, for some reason it's like watching one of those more slower burn sci-fi films like Rollerball, like 2001: Space Odyssey, and recently Ad Astra I really enjoyed. I did back in the day. I watched Star Trek: The Motion Picture. I really love that movie. So it's not, people always think I'm this guy that loves ADD, Michael Bay, blah blah blah. I'm like, no, I like Star Trek: The Motion Picture. I like 2001: Space Odyssey and 2010. I like Ad Astra. I think because you're slowly lulled into this world and these little pieces, like this whole room here, like that cool like light in the middle we saw in the previous scene, and this here is like little pieces of world building. And this lady just plays a bitch you just hate. But to me, like doing it in the right way, not in the, oh, she's so annoying or she's so poorly acted or she's so irritating that I hate her. No, just she's not irritating, she's not annoying. It's just the right way of, ooh, I hate her. I do like these cool ways of how these hard drives are done and the color scheme. It reminds me of like watching films like 2001: Space Odyssey. I remember when I first saw that was on cable. It was on Turner Classic Movies. It was on Turner Classic Movies. I had heard a bit about it. It was late at night, and I I don't know if 2010 was after it or that might have been later. Because I think I saw 2001: Space Odyssey, and then the whole night I kept going, what did that ending mean? What did that ending mean? I have these questions. I think there was another time where they show both of them. And I'm like, oh. That, and I really like the sequel, 2010, with Roy Scheider. But, and I'll say here, I like 2001: Space Odyssey more than the first Blade Runner. And I like this film more than both of them, so lo and behold, I have my own taste. And it's not a wrong thing, but so many times I see so many people make these lists, and they always have like the same typical number one, two, three, four. I'm like, oh wow, you have Citizen Kane, Casablanca, and it's like you looked at 15 other critics, and you said, oh, and not to say they're bad movies, it's just what do you look for a film? I look for entertainment in a film. But I can also, it's in the eyes of the beholder a good story. People like, no, it's not. Yes, it is. That's why every film has a fan and every film has a non-fan. And when people don't realize that, then they're in for a consistent amount of arguing and bickering. Because, again, every film has a fan and every film has a non-fan. People go, no shit. I'm like, yeah, no shit, but it's something that has to be said out loud. The most praised film, another person could see it and go, that's the most boring movie I've ever seen. I don't mind Citizen Kane. I know someone who said that was a boring movie and they don't like it. I love The Shawshank Redemption. I'm sure there are people that go, oh, that movie's overrated and boring. I'm like, I don't agree. But see, this is a reference to the original Blade Runner that makes sense because it's investigating these characters and what's going on as part of the investigation. More human than human, that's our motto. And I think that's another thing I liked about this. I felt more of an actual investigation in this. There's a little bit of investigating in Blade Runner, but I mean, that's pretty much the apartment and the photos. I didn't feel a whole lot of investigation. It was kind of just, here's the stuff with Sean Young, Rutger Hauer doing his own thing, and it felt like Rutger Hauer was a more interesting character and a more interesting person to hang out with than Deckard in the first Blade Runner. While to me, Ryan Gosling, the lead, to me is the most interesting. That's another reason why I like this film more. I like the investigation, going from here A to B to C. This little, where's this path that with Deckard and the Rachel character. There's Edward James Olmos. Which he would be in a couple, not more than a couple, but there were other films. Battlestar Galactica, the TV show revival. Now the way Edward James almost says something in his eyes, again, I think the director, I give credit where credit's due. When you go into this film, there's the side of the argument that believes Deckard is a replicant. There's the side of the argument that believes Deckard is not a replicant. I personally feel there's no way to answer that without pissing people off. I mean, granted, for me, I'm like, just answer no, he's not a replicant. But that would piss off other people. So the director's like, you know what? I have two groups of fans. People could say it's a cop-out, but I can see why, you know what? Let's not answer that if that's the case. And you make up your own mind. I'm fine with that. It's like, you know what? To Mr. Ridley Scott, I don't need to know what happened in Alien where that fucking pilot had was a damn white, big old albino mongoloid. Tall as a motherfucker. I didn't need to see that. I didn't need to know that. And here's Jared Leto, who I don't mind as an actor. I don't. He was in Dallas Buyers Club with Matthew McConaughey. I thought he did a good job in there. I actually don't mind his band, 30 Seconds to Mars. They did songs like Teens and Queens, which was in the trailer. Been a few trailers, including one for Legend of the Guardians, the Owls of Ga'Hoole, which I liked. But I don't mind the band 30 Seconds to Mars. I do like them as a band. And I know a lot of people, not a lot, but there were a couple people when that movie Battle Los Angeles came out, which is another film I enjoy. They would use a certain song from that band and a couple tributes to that movie. This was like back in, 2011, give or take. But pretty much Jared Leto's character here is, and sorry, my nose is itching. I don't know why. Anytime I do this, my nose itches. I swear. But as his character then makes replicants, and he knows there's a need and want for them, but he seems like he can't make enough. So thus the idea of, wait a minute, they didn't get pregnant? That'd be such an easier way to make more replicants. How was this done? What's going on? We got to find and test and dissect and all that jazz. And to me, another thing that makes the film work is it helps if you saw the first Blade Runner, but I do think you can understand what's going on without seeing the first Blade Runner. And just so many people don't give this film credit, and it just, to each their own, I just don't understand it. Titties! Come on, we got titties. What's wrong with titties? But I mean, the Disney Star Wars films and Ghostbusters Afterlife and all this stuff gets to pass as like whatever. Like I said, to each their own. I can only... Here's what people don't understand, and it... We've all done it. People have different opinions, just the way it is. And we get frustrated. I think honestly it's because we want to see more of the entertainment that we enjoy. We want to see more of the entertainment that we like. We want to see more of the entertainment that either excites us or gives us adrenaline or makes us laugh or makes us keep wanting to love the ideals and ideas of movies. And so when something we like gets jettisoned or crapped on or forgotten, we get mad and angry because, like, well, fuck. If this is considered bad, then we won't see more of this stuff. And if we don't see more of this stuff, we get to see, in our eyes and in our opinions, less of the good and more of the bad. And sadly, in truthfulness, there's nothing we can do about it. Because you could say, in this day and age of the world, if you don't want to support something, there's dozens and dozens of ways to see the thing for free. If you do want to support something, there's plenty of streams to support to see it. But you do all you want, but you're still one individual. And here Jared Leto pretty much has the idea that Tyrell in the first film with Sean Young's character had the ideas of procreation, perfected but lost, as he says. And that would help. And that's the interesting thing here is that she has to do what she's told, but there's maybe a little bit of sadness of this other sister being killed. And just on a visual note, to me this is such a cool looking movie. The neon lights and the mood and the lighting. Just strictly on a visual front is great to look at. But again, I do enjoy the story that it tells. Like I said, I do think 15, maybe 20 minutes could be edited out. And again, Deckard, I don't know, have some with this the crazy bitch. There's like 2 or 3 people, and Deckard shoots 1 or 2 of them, and then Ryan Gosling has to deal with the crazy bitch. Yeah, so then you have other replicants that don't like that Ryan Gosling killed Bautista's character. Actually, I think I'm wrong. I think it's one of the hookers here that I was talking about before. That I'm like, I think I saw another movie and it's like, oh yeah, she was a hooker in Blade Runner. I'm like, really? So I don't think it was the girlfriend. I think it was one of these hookers. So I apologize. Again, I'm not the best with names. But I know there's talks of really Scott. Oh yeah, I want to do a TV show. Really Scott, just stop, man. Just stop. Retire. Go. I mean, just at one point with some of these guys, just fucking retire. Just fucking retire. Stop. Like, it's funny how so many people go, I at him and I hang on to the past. You live in the past. You hang on to the past. How many fucking times have I been on this channel saying, no, move forward, not backward. Not everything needs a sequel, or not everything needs a revival, and blah, 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 blah. It's Hollywood that doesn't want to let go because they know their new shit sucks. They know a lot of people like the 80s and 70s and now maybe the 90s with nostalgia and using that to try to get money out of customers. But once was old is new again. And to me, few of them worked out. I liked this movie. I liked the Mandalorian TV show. I liked, what was it, the Child's Play reboot. But to me, it's not a dime a dozen. It's not typical. It's few and far in between. But so many times it's like, oh, Stallone, I love Stallone, but oh, I gotta keep going with Rocky, even though Rocky Balboa ended it. Rocky Balboa literally walked away, faded away at the end of Rocky Balboa. Nope, let's do Creed. Let's do Creed 2. Creed 1, crappy version of maybe Rocky 2, Rocky Balboa, Rocky 5, combination of stuff. Creed 2, a trip down Rocky 4 lane. Now there's going to be a Creed 3. Maybe without Stallone. Oh, Rambo ended it. Full circle. Rambo 4, 2008. I know it because I saw it in the theater. Oh, let's do another Rambo. 5, Last Blood. Which was lame as hell. But then Stallone's like, I want to do another Rambo film. How about no? How about no? Disney, let's keep milking the Star Wars. Let's keep milking the Star Trek with these crappy TV shows like Star Trek Discovery. Literally STD. Let's not think of another Ghostbusters type of movie. Let's literally just keep doing Ghostbusters. 2016, Afterlife. In my opinion, both sucked. Well, Afterlife is better than 2016. What kind of effort is that? It's like having a foot race with a fucking turtle where you have to go 5 feet as for the Olympic gold medal. That don't mean shit to me. Sorry, that means shit to me. In my opinion, both sucked. If people liked it, cool, but I said the reasons why I thought it sucked. As a comedy, I didn't think it was funny. Stop me. That's weird. Thought it was comedy. This really showcases how hardcore bitch she is. There you go. Just one fucking move. I think just the fucking, just that she hit so hard, completely fucked him up. Now, granted, I will say, I don't know why there's no security cameras. You would think there'd be a security camera to show she went in or out. Unless they explain something I missed it. Maybe I missed something. But, or, I don't know, maybe... Now think about it, there's not a whole lot of cameras in the first Blade Runner either. Like security cameras. I think the one is like literally just a camera to shoot like Brian James, like to record the interview. But again, this whole storyline of maybe I'm the kid, maybe I was the child. I'm trying to think. It seems like there's another film or two that kind of did that, where the person thinks they. Well, I guess in a weird way, Freddy's Dead: The Final Nightmare. That I think about it, because Freddy's Dead: The Final Nightmare, Nightmare on Elm Street Part 6. That was John Doe thought he was Freddy Krueger's kid the whole time. You think I'm your daddy? Wrong. And you find out he had a daughter. So maybe that's the film I'm thinking of, Freddy's Dead: The Final Nightmare. But yeah, I don't mind the fact of, people go, well, the captain is a woman, but the villain, evil bitch, is a woman as well. And our two lead heroes is still Ryan Gosling and Harrison Ford. And the lady is a real bitch, and Jared Leto, who's also a villain, who's male, and it's politics have nothing to do with it. I didn't feel any politics in the movie, which I'm glad. And the director, Prisoners, I didn't give a shit about, but I liked Sicario. Arrival, I didn't give a shit about. It wasn't for me, but I liked this film. So he's a hit and miss director for me. I liked this and Sicario. Didn't care for Prisoners, didn't care for Arrival. And the new Dune film, I don't care about because I'd never read the source material. I never gave a shit about the source material. It's pretty fucking long, and I don't really want to watch it. And I'm like, you know what? I didn't mind the David Lynch film. I actually didn't mind that movie. And to me, I'm sorry, Dune, visually, it's not that it looks bad. It just, scope-wise doesn't impress me after this film. Because obviously with Dune, because of the story, it's going to be a lot of sand, maybe some ships in space, and then more sand, and then, the creature, the sand creature. But it just, this with the city inner workings, just more appealing to me. More appealing to me. Again, all these little bits here and there of him actually doing investigation. Again, it was nice to see a more competent Blade Runner. You just say, hey, at least that wasn't a repeat of the original. And I'll tell you, the original Blade Runner, it was more of a guy who did have his shit together, and you can enjoy in that way. While this was a different status. But, oh yeah, 6/10/21. Now, I will admit, it's been a while since I've seen this, so I'm trying to think, like, 6/10/21, like, it was under the... Was it just a coincidence, or what the deal was? I can't remember. It's been a while since I've seen this. Do androids dream of electric sheep, as the original story that this is based on summarizes? Well, not summarizes, but in a way foretells us. Two people can have the identical DNA. One's real, one's a copy. So it's meant to hide someone. So that's right. It was to hide her. We were being hunted. Now, okay, I'm starting to remember a bit. When we started, again, it's been a while since I've seen this. I don't watch it every week. And my memory's going, folks. Bear with me. My memory's going. Blade Runner 2049, 6/10/21. Yeah, I actually don't mind this piece of music. Yeah, I didn't. I think this piece of music does work rather well. I just look at this stuff. I just get lost. Just seeing more of this world and environment of this stuff. Sorry, I'm looking something up real quick. The real shock came when he read an inscription of the number 61021 on the tree. It related to a memory of having a wooden toy horse at the orphanage for replicants where he was raised. Ryan Gosling's character, Tay. Association with a toy horse came to symbolize his growing appetite for freedom and authentic expression, just like a real horse in the wild, whereas Deckard identified with origami unicorns that resemble his life being full of mystery, miracles, and enchantment. By going to the orphanage that held many children with shaved heads doing slave labor, Tay forcefully obtained the necessary birth records and located the toy horse that was hidden away years ago. His boyhood memories were real and not implanted. Let's see. Kay was told the whole truth to better understand that Anna was the only child of Deckard and Rachel. Bautista's character witnessed her birth as a temporary surrogate parent. Kay's memories of having a wooden toy horse at the orphanage were not his own, but really the doctor's. She was the only one capable of implanting them in him and other replicants. After hearing all that, Kay no longer felt special to believe that he may be human. So again, you have a character who implants memories, and nice. Backbreaker! Again, sometimes it's just nice to see a badass fucking, you know, badass guy. Tit-ass take names. Fuck yourself, fool. And you're like, what the fuck's going on here? And this whole idea of drone warfare just from your recliner. I do see that happening in the future, sadly. I really can. Sad but true. And just relaxing, just like not giving a shit in the world. While getting her fucking nails done, cause she's a bitch. She's a bitch. She's a bitch. Sorry guys, I had to check something real quick. So, excuse me if the webcam slows down a bit. But But it's nice to show a bit of his capability as well as just how deadly the future can be. And she did that because she wants him to use him to find this mystery out. Why do the work when he can do the work for me? You know, that type of thing. Why do I need to do it if he can do it for me? And sorry, just doing something real quick. Yeah, I apologize for this, folks. This is not the most exciting stuff, so I do apologize. Alright. Sorry about that, I had to do something real quick. And it does create certain things that are not explained 100%, but it does create interesting pieces that you go, I wonder what the whole story with this is. Like this whole, I guess you call it orphanage of replicants. How did this come about? How did these kids get there? And you're able to think about it yourself. Because it's a world that's already lived in before you yourself into it. And yeah, I apologize if my commentary goes slow a bit, because this is 2 hours and 45 minutes long. 43 minutes, so. I will say in the future, for those who do request a commentary, if it's like 2.5, 3 hours, might have to double think it, because it's a lot to talk about consistently for, 2.5, 3 hours straight. That or maybe a little bit extra. Also just time-wise. It's just hard to do time-wise. Because, I mean, just on a off topic, it's hard to maintain a schedule when it's like, oh, here's a almost 3 hour, and I love the movie, but it's like, here's a 3 hour movie, you gotta sit and get the time 3 hours of the day to do. So, but again, to the menu, I still really appreciate it. Plus, it gives me a reason to rewatch this film again. And so when I saw it, that's no worries, because again, at least I enjoy the film. But I guess like if it's like a film I don't know, or it's a film and I don't know. I mean, when it's like almost 3 hours, it's a little bit tougher. As I'll do it, but again, just I don't know what I'm saying. Because it's hard to consistently maintain dialogue, because I'm not a riffer. If it's a bad film, I'll riff on it. But if it's a film I like, I don't riff on the film, because I actually liked the film. I didn't work on the film. There's no like deep documentary. Like on the first Blade Runner, there's a deep documentary, Dangerous Days. There's not a whole lot of making material on this to grab little pieces of trivia from. And this isn't like a film I grew up with because this only came out a few years ago. So it's not like, oh, let me tell you all the nostalgia memories of watching this when I was a kid. So, so definitely these are clues that stuff was done to hide certain things. As we come to find out, the more I remember, Deckard and them hid the child because they knew if this kid was found sooner or later, they would be, well, experimented on for days on end. And I do think they did a good job misleading, at least to me. Like, to me, I sincerely thought, oh, he's the kid. And when it's like, oh, it's that girl, I was surprised. I was actually surprised. I did not expect that. Because, oh, yeah, it's the son, and like father, like son. He became a Blade Runner like his dad did. But, but again, the whole... I wouldn't even call it a twist. It's like revelation. Oh, okay. I'm sure there's a lot of people that got that from the get-go. I did not. I just did not. It was, oh, what a surprise to me. See, like, what I mean here, like, this shot here, where it's very far away, and he's slowly walking through these pipes, this could be edited down a little bit. That's what I mean, like, you didn't even need the shot of, like, honestly, he could look, and then the shot could go to right here, with him, he went through the tunnel. Like, that's what I mean, there's little snips here and there you can do. And that's the thing, you go through a film, you take a little step here, a little step there. I think it would... You'd be surprised how much you get out of a film when you do little things like that. Again, this is what, I mean, I'm doing my best, and I still got an hour and like 30 minutes to go. I kind of already told much of what I felt about the movie. That's why my reviews are usually just, I don't know, 20 minutes long, unless I go on a tirade rant, and then it gets longer. But if I enjoy the film, it goes like maybe 20, 25 minutes. So, yeah, I don't really know what else to say. I'm not enjoying the commentary, but I'm just like, I don't know what else to say. Other than, again, I really do enjoy the movie. Because I'm not a scholar, I'm not going to act like a scholar, go into the pontifications of man and machine and artificial intelligence of today. Because I'm not that guy. I've never been that guy. I can appreciate and enjoy that in movies, but also, that's I don't think that's how a lot of people talk in the real world. They just talk maybe in a circle of friends, maybe in this, because to sound more smart and more intelligent and more sophisticated, when, it's like, well, most of you didn't even go to fucking college. And if you did, you didn't go there to and study film criticism. You're not Siskel and Ebert. You're not Kevin Thomas of the LA Times, at least back in the day. And that's sort of his, like, how could I have this memory? And that goes to the thing, like, can you even believe your own memories? Which definitely is a portion of debate in this film. Like, if you're a replicant, if you're not, quote, real, how do you even believe in your own memories? It could be the memories of someone else, which this happens to be. The memory he has of getting this horse is not the, and people go, well, how does she even know about this orphanage? Well, obviously she was there for a little bit for safety. That's why the pages were ripped out. That probably Deckard himself ripped out the pages. The oh, here's a replicant. Just say that she's a replicant. We need some time to hide out, so we hide here. Up, so we hide a bit of information, rip that out, and then the girl had this memory. Actually, I think it's this girl coming up. Which again, I'm sure there's plenty of people that knew it before I did. It's just again for me, I just didn't catch it. But yeah, this girl here with this camera thing, Dr. Anna. And I thought this lady did a good job. I don't recognize her name, but I liked her. And it's not a woman, oh, we prop this woman up, she's better than a man, she's better than... No, they don't do that in this movie. They're just telling a story. If you don't like the story, fine, but they're telling a story. Again, I think that also took like the compromised immune system. She's pretty much the boy in the bubble. Well, the girl in the bubble. It's a one big bubble. Because, and again, I was saying before, that goes into what is reality, what is not reality, where they try to bring that in the first film. Deckard. These pictures, were they actually real pictures? Were they fake pictures? Were they, how do I put it, was Deckard human? Was he not? Was he just made to think he was human by fake memories? Memories. You're talking about memories. But yeah, I like this visual aspect of just how she's creating a memory with this device. So, okay, create a birthday party, create a birthday cake, create friends. She said she was locked in at 8, but I mean... I think she could have... I don't know... remembered bits and pieces when she was like 6. I mean, I remember bits and pieces when I was like 6 or 7. So, I mean, it's not that far off the mark. And if she's a memory maker, she does stuff create stuff from her own experiences. That is true. I mean, anything real is a mess, and you don't remember memories as well as you think you do. At least that's been my experience, so I can definitely understand that portion of it. Yeah, sorry I'm being silent. I'm kind of just watching the film now, because and then rewatch it. Now it makes sense her reaction, because her reaction is a little bit of almost like, oh, that's my memory. Like that was her memory put into it. Someone lived this, and this happened. Someone did. But I can't say right off the bat because it's illegal. So either she did this without. I don't know if that means she accidentally did it or she did it just. I'm going to do this and oh shit, that's right. Or something else entirely. And pretty much her reaction there is, I can't tell him that it's my memory. I can't tell him the truth. But him, he thinks that almost like the almost like the Pinocchio story where the the fakery that wants to be a real boy. I mean, in a way, that's what it is. It is kind of the Pinocchio story. Yeah, I want to be a real boy. And he thinks he's getting that opportunity, and then when he realizes that's not the case, that's when he's about ready to give up. But then again, he makes the most human choice, so to speak. Hesitation. See, they don't want them emotionally compromised, so to speak. Fuck you, suck my baseline. How about that? Suck my fucking baseline, bitches. I can't help but keep saying I just love the visuals in this. I mean, yes, that is one of the big things, but that was the original Blade Runner as well. I mean, people say, well, visuals. That's the original Blade Runner as well. If the original Blade Runner didn't look like the way it did, it would not be the movie was today either. Let's be fucking honest on that. If the original Blade Runner did not have the visuals and even the Vangelis music, it would not be the movie that's looked at today. That's not to say it's the only reason, but it is a big reason. Hey, you know. Oh, is this the hooker scene? Might be where she got a hooker to, in a way, experience in real life what she can't. Yeah, it is. Which is interesting. I mean, it's a scene I haven't really witnessed before. So it's a definitely unique idea. I mean, this is an idea that I never really thought of, but just, again, when this happened in the theater, I went, huh? Yeah, this right here, I'm like, what's going on here? Is this like a threesome? I'm like, oh, okay, so she's trying to literally mimic, as I said, sync. It's kind of like in a computer. Like in a computer, you could sync things up to almost a glorified version of Photoshop or something. As like, okay, you can't move too quick, but I think it's a very weird. Like, I'm like, oh, that's a different way of. That's for me. I think that's creative. That's a creative way of doing it. I'm like, okay, that's again something I haven't really seen a whole lot before, and I appreciate stuff like that. I really, truly do. I really, truly do. And you know, we don't get a lot of that in this day and age. I mean, I keep turning off my fucking phone. I should keep it on because that way I'm not just. Because I don't want to be like. And then 30 minutes go by, I'm still. Thanks for the commentary. Nothing did. Why you not saying shit? I don't know why I'm not saying shit. Just going to fuck the bitch. Going to be the bee's knees. The bitch is ready to burn in her hands. Not really. Okay. Stop asking me for a fucking software update. Blade Runner 2049. I mean, it's weird to say the film's underrated because I look and I see it gets an 8 on IMDb, 88% Rotten Tomatoes, and stuff like that. But I don't know, just a lot of people I hear that they're about they're not a fan of the movie, they think it's boring, all this stuff. So I guess I don't know. Like, I think... You know what? Let me check that real quick. I want to check in 2017 movies. Yeah, search. Let's see. Like, the films that made the most money that year was Star Wars The Last Jedi, Beauty and the Beast, The Fate of the Furious, Despicable Me 3, Jumanji Welcome to My Bunhole, Spider-Man Homecoming, Wolf Warrior 2, which was a movie overseas, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, Thor Ragnarok, and Wonder Woman. Did not even get in the top 10. I'm like, fucking... Star Wars. Like, Disney had 1, 2, 3, 4 of the 10. Think about it. It was a... Fuck. This... And then awards. The fucking... What was nominated for the Academy Awards? I'm curious for that. For Best Picture. I'm curious. The Shape of Water, Call Me By Your Name, Darkest Hour, Dunkirk, Get Out, Lady Bird, Phantom Thread, The Post, 3 Billboards Outside of Ebbing, Missouri. That was the year Shape of Water won for Best Picture, Best Director. I mean... I'm just curious, did this win anything? Let's see... Dunkirk won for Best Sound Editing, Best Sound Mixing. The Shape of Water won for Best Production Design. Really? Really? Production Design? The Shape of Water was better than Blade Runner 20. It won Best Cinematography. And Best Visual Effects. So at least those two more technical. Yeah, those are the only 2 Oscars it won. I say I like this because it's her looking out for the guy. And again, once again, showcasing that here are 2 artificial intelligence individuals showing love, emotion, sympathy, empathy that actual humans take, well, take advantage, but take without, I don't know how to put it, take for granted. This guy here, I think, was in the Tom Hanks film Captain Phillips. I think he was one of the pirates in Captain Phillips. I could be wrong, but I think that's him. And I want to... Ana de Armas, who played Joy, the artificial hologram. She was in No Time to Die as the Bond girl. She was in... That's not the movie I'm thinking of, is it? Oh god, she was one of the girls in Knock Knock before this. For fuck's sake. Well, you know what? It's Eli Roth. Even Keanu Reeves couldn't fucking survive that movie. So. Knives Out. Yeah, I didn't. Not wasn't her fault. It's fucking Eli Roth's dumbass. So really, like, Knives Out, and then she's the Bond girl in the new James Bond film, Joy. Who is the... Mackenzie Davis was the hooker. And she was the one in Terminator Dark Fate. That's what it was. So the hooker that came in and got... That was Mackenzie Davis from Terminator Dark Fate as fucking Grace. Fuck. Robin Wright, I keep forgetting that's her, who plays the female captain, Robin Wright, formerly Robin Wright Penn. She was in... oh, what was it? Jenny and Forrest Gump. I forgot that was Robin Wright. That's... Shit. How the hell did I forget that? The Princess Bride... Toys. Let's see. Wonder Woman 84. Which hell, she would have been a better Wonder Woman than who they got. And then the female villain, Sylvia Hoeks. What was she in? The Girl in the Spider's Web in 2018. I don't recognize this stuff before. So again, that female, like this girl here is Sylvia. She was in Girl in the Spider's Web. Again, the female captain there, that's Robin Wright, formerly Robin Wright Penn. Jenny from Forrest Gump. Jenny. And this action made me like the captain because she stood up for the guy. Cost her a life, but she stood up for the guy. Well, I guess, I mean, she was led to believe by him that it was destroyed, but, I don't know if I would say she knew she was going to die or something else entirely. I like this girl because she just had this, even though she's a replicant, she had this insanity. Just shaky with rage. Sorry, I'm paying attention. Then do what you gotta do. I don't know, that kind of, it made me feel bad for that captain, because, yeah, I like Robin Wright, and... Holy fuck, man. In a way, she did to help him out. In a way. Sorry, I'm checking some real quick. Esquire's top 20 of 2017. Atomic Blonde number 18. Okay. That's from the... All the teaser trailers had this shot in there. Well, definitely creates a certain mood with the well, cinematography, filters, however you want to call it. But I like the look of this film more because in a weird way, even though it's filtered, something about it doesn't. It looks less fake than a lot of films nowadays. Like there's just something a bit more tangible to it. I don't know. Roger Deakins, I think sadly he's passed away. Cinematographer, he definitely brought that to it. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. And I was talking about 2017 films. Yeah, this scene with the bees, I'm guessing this is a way to have food there. Perhaps with the honey. A way to, again, create some kind of food at least. I mean, it looks like a dead fucking wasteland. What else can you do? It's like honey, isn't it? You know, I've never actually been into a honeycomb. Um, because I've seen people take that thing out of honeycomb and they actually bite into it. Obviously with no bees on it. I think that'd actually be kind of nice to try one day. But I just feel like 2017 compared to now. Like you had... don't get me wrong, you had some bad fucking films, but... Like John Wick Chapter 2 was in February. A Cure for Wellness I remember liking, although too long. Get Out I actually do like. Logan I don't mind, especially compared to a lot of shit today. Loved Constant Island. That's definitely one of my favorites that year. Loved Constant Island. Let's see. Again, I enjoyed this film, Blade Runner 2049. Guardians, yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 I didn't mind. And compared to shit today. It's funny, Tom Cruise's The Mummy kind of seems quaint compared to the shit nowadays. Shows how 5 years changes stuff. But yeah, Blade Runner 2049, Constant Island, Kidnap with Halle Berry. I enjoyed that film. I know there's some others. I'm trying to remember. Whatever. I think this did disappoint some people because I think the way it was marketed, I think they should not have, I hate to say it, they should not put Harrison Ford in the marketing. Because then you're expecting Harrison Ford to be at it like 30 minutes in, but we're like an hour and 45 minutes in. And Deckard should be a reveal. And you revealed that literally in the first teaser. Or at least, maybe not the first teaser, but like the beginning of the trailer. And that's where the marketing kind of hurt it, where this is supposed to be this like Oh, you hear the voice. Oh, shit. Because that's what a filmmaker is doing. It's doing it as if you haven't seen it before, but the way they market films, you've seen the entire fucking film. So this reveal, oh, shit. But again, it was revealing like one of the first fucking trailers. Not the first, but one of. So now people are like, oh, I'm waiting for this to occur. Not, oh, is he in it? I wonder if he's going to pop in it. I mean, this is 2017, and look how old Harrison Ford is now. I mean, this is where he is, like, I can't want to say 5 years ago. It's been less than that. Can't do math. 4 years. I guess, almost 5, because the year's almost over. I mean, it's going on 5 years. Again, the thing is, like, I understand people wanting more of Deckard, but I think they're just to a point where, how do you use them? And, like, the more time he's in it, the more people go, oh, why isn't he doing this? Why isn't he doing that? And there would be people, not all people, but there would be people who go, oh, the fact he's not as physical. I'm like, well, yeah, because there's no way he can be. Because just age catches up with everybody. I'm trying to remember what year the first Blade Runner took place in. I don't know if it... When did the first Blade Runner take place in? Like, year what? I can't remember what it is. I was, This whole thing with the hologram, Elvis Presley, Sally, I just see this happening. People go to a show and they see Elvis perform. They did enough of his stage production, stage shows, and you create this. They might have this now. I mean, I've seen them do stuff with Tupac. I'm sure they've done it with others. They probably do it with Michael Jackson, Elvis. I mean, they probably do. Like I said, I've seen a little bit with Tupac. I mean, they've done that with actors. Fucking Harold Ramis and Ghostbusters Afterlife. See the idea? This is like me going, okay, he's a replicant. He still gets his ass kicked no matter what. But at least this, he's older. So there's a bit more to that. Yeah, just get out of your system, man. Because how do you make it? Because there's no way Harrison Ford can really overpower him. I just maybe with a bit more wit and creativity, like using his Out, maybe instead of outpowering him, outthinking him. And that's another thing I liked about the film is like the different types of environments. Like you have the junkyard and the color scheme of there. You have the color scheme of the city. You have the white rooms of the where the immune system type of girls in. Then you got this orange palette here, like nuclear wasteland. You have the greener pastures at the beginning with the trees and like there's different. I mean, it just there's a multiple revenue of a visual palette, which I appreciate. Is it real? I don't know. Ask him. Oh, Joe. Okay, yeah, that was his name. Sorry, now I'm just getting sucked into the film watching it. I mean, in a weird way, I thought the romance stuff between him and Sean Young, in a weird way, worked better for me here because I could see like the regret in his voice, Harrison Ford's acting, that he felt sorry that oh, he was long gone by then, so it wasn't him. How to scramble the records, cover the tracks. Everyone had a part. Mine was to leave. I mean, this made me appreciate the Decker character even more because there's a bit more, I hate to say it, dramatic punch to this. This whole, I had a kid and I had to leave and like, what's really the dramatic, people could say, oh, well, am I human, am I not? But that's, that's not in the movie. That's like, you figure it out. Like, I don't know how to put it. Like, it's, I don't want to say it's an afterthought, but Harrison Ford isn't really thinking about that. It's like he had to have other people tell him. Like Rutger Hauer gives that speech and saves him. It's like I have to tell Deckard to think of in this way, in this shape. I don't know how to put it. I'm not the best at articulating that type of stuff, but here it's again him literally the way he's acting, Harrison Ford's body language, Harrison Ford's regrets. I did not be able to see his kid having to leave because didn't want the kid dissected, and there's a blackout. That's why he couldn't find her even if he tried. And then that psychological sucker punch later on when I forget Jared Leto's not in the movie as much as I remember. So I take back what I said. Yeah, it's been a while since I've seen it, folks. There's so many films, so little time to rewatch stuff. I mean, that's the weird thing. It's why I don't buy a whole lot of movies anymore unless it's something I really really like. But I don't collect a lot because it's like, wow, I don't rewatch a lot of movies that often because it's just not a lot of time to rewatch stuff. Not a lot of time. Too many movies, too little time. And there's YouTube and TV shows and streaming stuff and all sorts of other things. Too much, too little time. Of course, there's a way to track. Always a way to track. But yeah, like Harrison Ford, the whole thing with again his that little brief dialogue, I got more of a sense of Deckard than I did in the entire first Blade Runner. That little exchange, I got more of his emotional character portion than I did in the entire movie of Blade Runner. And that's a pretty good shot. A lot of that's done practical, which I appreciate. Does it all look fake and fun? No, they look rather good. And I was saying, Blade Runner was never an action film first and foremost. I mean, sometimes it's labeled in that category, but there's little action bits, but it's more of just a sci-fi story. Again, when you look at the elements, I mean, you look at the visual, you look at the aesthetic, you look at the, they didn't turn to, again, a Michael Bay type of action film. They didn't do, what people were afraid they would do. It didn't retcon the original, in my opinion. It didn't just, oh, we kill off Deckard, and we do this, and we do that, and we say, oh, that doesn't matter, or we just did kill off Harrison Ford's character, we do all this. And yeah, I like that he's at least able to show some kind of uh, competence before this. I did give him at least a little bit high mark, high moment, nice moment until you gotta get beaten down before the comeback later. That's a lot of stuff in today. Probably should have left that in the car or something. Again, that's also an interesting way to show like a death scene by crunching electrical equipment. Because that's exactly what it is, a death scene. But again, done in a unique way. And I think that, again, it's not appreciated as much. But I'll be okay, that's actually an emotional... And I felt that more than emotion, well, other than the ending of Rutger Hauer's speech in Blade Runner. But I mean, that was a nice, sad, but good moment. Are these the bad guys? Of course they were. Or no, these are the other guys helping them out, I guess. I don't know why for a split second I was thinking there's gonna be some Native American. Some medicine magic. Yeah, 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 yeah. Which I've seen that in quite a few films too. That's an interesting scene transition. Ooh, that purple lady has a nice ass. But that pops up later on in a crucial moment with Ryan Gosling's character. But, we gotta have Harrison Ford have a little bit more. But I guess again, for me, it's like me realizing and understanding that someone like Harrison Ford is so old. There's not a whole lot you can do. And, I think this is where it's kind of like there's almost as if there's a little war that's going to come up between this and Jared Leto's group. This is pretty much here to give the exposition that it was a girl, not a boy. So again, you have a character, Ryan Gosling, that got beaten up, left for dead. The love of his life was pretty much killed in front of him. And then also realizing that his wish, so to speak, I imagine Pinocchio. Imagine Pinocchio never got his wish to be a real boy, along with other stuff. I guess also if Geppetto died and he never got his wish to be a real boy, you have this beat the guy down to his knees to his darkest part, and then choice. What's your choice? You either to just do nothing, or you don't do something. But and yeah, this stuff kind of. This stuff and the stuff with Jared Leto, again, seems like it's stuff to set up for a different movie. As if it's going to be Wallace. Like this, was it Frasier? Her and that's where you realize it's a daughter, not a son. Again, sorry, I'm just I'm getting sucked into the film again. But then you have like, but at the same time, I get where you have to give an exposition to what the truth of it is. And yeah, just like with this little group and then Jared Leto's group, it seemed like maybe in the future there was going to be more to this, but uh, I don't know if that was needed. Where I mean, that right there kind of tells you, oh, that's the daughter. Maybe they could have saved until the end, where it's like, wait, why are we at this place? And then you reveal, oh, it's her. Like that kind of reaction at the end. Here you kind of like 30 minutes left. Oh well, that's who it is. I do wonder if you had say that more for in the finale of the film, like the or the last 5 minutes. That would have been a bit more. Or maybe they thought, hey, if you haven't figured out by now, when it says she, then you figure it out, so we'll just pretty much just tell you. I mean, Harrison Ford definitely didn't have a lot of uh, screen time in this, which I think did disappoint people. You know, they wanted to see more of Rick Deckard's story, but to me, it just was too long to do that, sadly. Like Ghostbusters Afterlife, I've said you don't need another Ghostbusters movie. If you did, you should have done a 94, give or take. But, you know, if you're going to do a new one, here at least I like Ryan Gosling's character and I'm interested in him, and that helps. Again, it doesn't to be portray a detrimental excuse for, like, Decker to me didn't get hurt by this. Like I said, if you watch the director's cut where they're on the run, it gives a nice ending to the character. This child that he had to leave to keep her safe, doesn't know who she is, finally is reunited and able to spend time with her. That to me is kind of it's a nice ending to the character. Lo and behold, the character from the 80s that might have the happiest ending is fucking Deckard from. Because Captain Kirk died, Ripley died, Han Solo died, Luke Skywalker died. Yes, we all died, but I mean, they died in shit. Kirk was alone with no friends and met a stranger named Picard. He died. Ripley was alone on a prison planet and she died. Luke Skywalker used his batteries. He died. Han Solo got stabbed and thrown into the dumpster and he died. I mean, Egon was by himself for a decade on a fucking farm. Then decided to see his daughter for some reason. Could have done both. Could have said, you know what, I'm going to do this and see my daughter. And then he died alone. Whether suicide or the ghost killed him, whatever it may be. Oh, Jesus Christ. And the Ghostbusters got separated and were separated for like 10 whatever years. Like, god damn, man. I get more out of the emotional core of Deckard in this movie than in the first film. Because in the first film, there wasn't like a lot of moments where Harrison Ford could really do that. I guess maybe that love scene that's like trying to be rough as shit. Him reacting to Rutger Hauer dying, perhaps. I'm not going to help you, Jared Leto. You're fucked up as a Joker. So, I will never help you. Yeah, you don't have children. Well, I'm going to have my foot up your ass. That's what I'm going to have. You know what? Fuck you, buddy. Dude, you know shit. This I thought was a really like crazy special effect. Yeah, I like Harrison Ford's acting, like without saying anything, just like, regret, past regret. Here's to be bewilderment. Like that. I don't know how the fuck they did that. That looks like Sean Young from Blade Runner. I mean, like, there are times where they do this, like Luke Skywalker in The Mandalorian. He does look off in the season 2 at the end. But that looked like fucking Sean Young from Blade Runner. I was like, what the fuck? I'm like, her eyes were green. The gunshot, the way the head went, I could tell it was a little CGI because the way they kind of wobbled, it wasn't a natural way. I would say that's the only thing that is more noticeable. Is that, you know, I don't know, the way it did, I don't even think you needed to show it. You could have just put the gun to her head and then close up a Harrison Ford here, gunshot. So I would have preferred that because the effect's not the best. Titties. And it's really like you're looking at a version of the woman you loved. And I like the way that, first off, I like the titties. And if a girl looked like that with the pink, I would do it. But I love the different color. I don't know, just beautiful looking shot. I guess this is sort of his, choice. What's your choice going to be? Dying for the right cause is the most human thing we can do. There's another good piece of music I do like. I remember hearing this in the theater and oh shit. Yeah, I like the way it was edited. I like the music in this. Like I said, I don't mind the music. Again, I would just be curious to see, to so many people do these edits with, again, if you did this with just Vangelis music, I'd be very curious to see how that would work out. But yeah, I don't mind the music in this. I didn't think it was bad at all. Well, I wouldn't say at all, but I didn't think it was that bad. Shouldn't have fucked up. You shouldn't have killed his lady. Pissed him off. It's time to die. It's time to die. It's time to die, bitches. All these bitches. Sons bitches. All bitches. Them bitches. Time for them to die. I don't want them to talk like this. But maybe they'll be like that character. For all these bitches to die. We gotta rescue Indiana Jones from the crazy bitch. The horny bitch. The replicant bitch. The bitchy bitch. You gotta shoot the shit out of it. Fuck them cars up. That car dead. You dead and gone. Where'd the other car? Gotta get that car down. Get him. Be the president. Air Force One. Get off my plane, bitch. Do some shit. Do some Han Solo. And motherfucker. So low he can't see him anymore. Yeah, Joe gonna tell you. He gonna be the G.I. Joe of all time. Gonna crash it down. You're gonna wreck it all. Gonna wreck your ass till you beg for more. Shoot the shit out. Fuck the hell out. Blow her head off. Drown her ass. Sassafras. Ain't no sass. They're gonna drown. Gonna ready for the crown. They're gonna be the king. For your queen bitch. The dick gonna be in your mouth. Or between your tits. You gonna like it. No, you gonna love it. Fuck the bitch. Did the bitch. So I don't know where that came from, but bear with me, man. It's like 2 hours and 20 minutes in. I'm trying to do the best I can. I apologize. I'm no scholar. I'm no expert. I would never be on a commentary officially on a Blu-ray or DVD. Because I'd be too many boring sides and asides and B-sides and to the sides and there you go, shoot the shit out of them. At least wounded the fuck out of her and I get him out of there. But I guess in a way it was what I've said before, like someone said it best in a lot of today's age that we won't let go of the toys of our childhood. And to me, it's like, well, if the toys suck, then yeah, you want to play with the old toys if the new toys suck. Ghostbusters 2016, the new toys, they sucked. So you want to, play with the old toys. But there is validity to that comment people say of, people don't want to put away their old toys. People don't want to move on. And to me, like, this was a way of moving on where, you have, how do I put it? You have this new character that you're following through in his story, his arc, and you have the Decker character, but he's not overshadowing the new one. You ain't the best of shit, lady. Okay. Stop staring, man. Do something. That's your problem. You stare too fucking much. Okay. Okay. Like, yeah, it would have been a nice moment, like, okay, Harrison Ford, like, wounds her, shoots her in the shoulder, something. I'm trying to remember if he does punch her or something. I'm trying to remember. Yeah, it's been a while since I've seen it. Okay. Yeah, choke the shit out of her. Now drown the shit out of her. I think you see like blood come out of her nose, which is a good touch. I think you see that in a bit. I believe. Sorry, Dan, I know I'm not saying anything, but I'm just... There you go. I mean, drowning would be one of the more horrible ways to die, and if someone deserves it, it's sure as fuck her. That's the thing, is like, I thought there was like little blood out of the nose. I guess I remember wrong. Maybe I'm thinking of something else. I don't know. I guess I was thinking of something else. Like you would see like blood, like drip. I don't know. Maybe I was thinking of some other movie. And that's the thing is that Ryan Gosling made the human choice. He went in, got shot. Like to me, this worked better than it did in Logan. Like Logan goes in to protect the kid and gives his life for the kid. And to me, like this, the way this was handled, I thought was better than in Logan. Like both die for their cause, but Logan's like, I'm getting my ass kicked. I'm getting my ass kicked by this other Wolverine, and the girl has to fucking do it. Here, this guy's doing this. Ryan Gosling. I even like that little moment. Like it's him trying to help this guy up, Joe. He didn't then just ignore and forget about him. Like little touches like that could really help. That people don't really think about. It's like, okay, yeah, he's not like, oh fuck you, I'm going. Wait, where's this guy who just saved my life? Let me help him up. I mean, little moments like that do add up. That's the thing with a lot of movies that I enjoy. A lot of times it's the little things. And if you get so many little things right, as it adds up to a good experience. You did die out there. You drowned out there. And yeah, I thought the sacrifice portion of this actually worked rather well. And I thought, using that music from the first movie, I thought actually worked in this instance. It wasn't just remember this, remember this. I thought no, that it was earned, but the story it was earned, and a lot of sequels don't do that. They really don't. I mean, you looked at the Disney Star Wars films, and you looked at this, but because it's Star Wars, there are still people. If you notice, I haven't really done any videos on Star Wars except The Mandalorian because it was a paid request and I enjoyed it. But any new Star Wars news I don't talk about because I'm like, fuck it, I'm just done with it. But you have people still talking about Star Wars, good and bad, the new stuff, and it's like, hmm. But this is a movie that's out. I mean, I think should be mentioned more. And you have to make it where Deckard doesn't realize that he's dying because the guy lied about it. So I guess he's going to be in for a surprise when he comes out. But, I mean, the ending is when the father and daughter meet again. And I just thought this whole ending worked well. Because I will be honest, I'm the type of guy that, oh, the character died. And I get pissed. I will admit, I'm usually the type of guy that gets pissed about that. I can't help it. It's all deals with personal preference. But I thought, okay, this is, in my opinion, earned. I go, but it's like I get it. Would I have been fine if he lived? Yeah, of course. But I did it. And with the music and I'll watch this over any of those pretentious A24 films, those artsy fartsy. Just be, oh, this is artsy fart. No, this is what I like to prefer. Like Rutger Hauer in the first film, it's like, okay, I liked the scene because I liked him as an actor, as a good dialogue and music. Here, I actually do feel for the character. And so to me, it's more earnestly earned for me. Because in the first Blade Runner, I mean, I get Rutger Hauer's ploy, but he's, killing people and ripping eyes out. And here, for me, again, the emotion for me is, in a way, is almost more earnestly earned for me. I'd say this because, again, the various reasons why I like this film more than the original Blade Runner. I apologize, is that the most exciting or entertaining commentary, but it's just an honest one. And she doesn't know, but he knows. And this is a good way for Deckard's journey to end. They think he's dead. There's his daughter. What happens next? That's up to you. I thought, okay, that's nice. They didn't kill off Deckard. They didn't make him a fucking messiah. They didn't make him a fucking sacrifice. That was a nice, sweet way to end Deckard's story. Again, you look at a lot of the characters back in the day, they don't get that. They really don't. But I remember sitting there going, I think I sat and watched the credits for a bit and went, I was satisfied. I was rather satisfied. I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed watching it again. It still held up for me. So, I don't know what else to say other than thanks for watching. Take care. And we will see you guys later. Bye-bye.